Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague, Justin. Dude, what happened to us Friday on the golf course?
Well, I would say my cart flew really high, followed by an immediate brought down to earth by Father Allergy.
Good God, Mother Nature brought us to our knees. Literally, Nick's eyes swelled shut. Gunth got a bloody nose. Like, I was in tears coming off the course.
I couldn't see. Yeah, it was so bad. Like, it just hit us like a brick wall.
I somehow birdied 9 after getting, like...
Yeah, we both did. And I don't think either of us could see out of our
absolutely
eyes.
Attacked. My eyes were watering over my putt. I'm like, snot pouring out of my nose, trying to sniffle it back. It was horrible.
It was brutal. But it was a great round. It was nice to get out there with the boys.
Yeah.
Some controversy in your cart. And your cart. Cartroversy.
Cartroversy, I like that.
You were, I guess let me tell the story, because you're biased, and you're not going to tell it
Okay, well then I'm going to rebuttal,
okay,
but that's fine.
I'll give you time to rebuttal.
Sure.
So, our buddy Nick, he was fighting the S-words, okay? From the range, I let him hit like 10 balls on the range to like the first 7 holes. You can clearly tell he's fighting it. He hit a Karl Marx ball, which is a brand new ball.
Yeah, he's so far left, he's inventing communism.
So that's how bad he's fighting the S-words, right? He's not mad. He's probably more in the upset realm. Not mad. He hasn't thrown a club yet. Like, he is a little low energy. I'll give you that. I think you used that term. He was low energy.
Yeah.
We get on 6. I'm like, I've already hit. Or no, I hadn't hit yet. And your ball's back here. Our Gunth had already hit. He was back a little bit. And I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Like, you're up there. Your ball's back here. You drive the cart around, leave him up there, because I guess he chunked his second shot, right?
Yeah.
After hitting his drive, probably close to another Karl Marx ball off the tee. You're driving your cart around. I'm like, what the hell is going on? You're like, I'm sorry, my partner can't pull his head out of his ass.
Exactly.
And you continue to talk shit about him, and he comes around the pine tree and he goes, I can fucking hear you. and then I will say this. Karma came swinging back around. You tried to hit a hook around the pine tree. It literally hits the smallest branch on the right side of the pine tree and drops directly down.
Straight Matumboed.
So I was on Nick's side. He wasn't mad, okay? It's just funny that you were talking shit about him. You're like, maybe I wanted you to hear me. But I think our cart was so many good vibes going in it. I think you were slightly jealous about the vibes we had going in our cart.
You know what? That might have been what it was. Like, subconsciously. But you know what, Your Honor, I'll cede my time.
All right,
at this
I'll
point.
give you, no.
I
want you to rebuttal.
I think you accurately described the situation. My only thing that I would say is the reason I said that about him needing to get his head out of his ass was what you just outlined. We're like 150 yards, no, not that far, 100 yards from where my ball was. He's like to drop him off for his third shot. Like, bro, let's go back to my ball. There's people waiting on the tee behind us. And continue playing golf. Then the same thing happens after he hits the third one, which I guess he pulled way left and he's over the green. Doesn't know where it is. I'm 80 yards back in the fairway, and yet we're driving up to the green so he can find his golf ball. It is impacting the rest of the group when you're doing these things.
I will say it did impact your play on that hole because
I chunked that wedge.
Well, you got Dikembe and Matumbo by the pine tree.
Yep.
And then you finally laid up. Then you chunked the wedge. Then you hit like a skinny chip shot that went about 15 feet by. Yeah, it was a tough go for you on that hole after all that happened.
Yeah, so he was just low energy, which I get it. If you're not playing great and you don't really want to hit a golf shot because you're scared what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But then, like, dude, you're a golfer. Like, what are we doing? That was like etiquette 101 that was happening out here. So I hope he listens to this. I hope he hears it again. Maybe I want him to hear it.
Can we get an apology?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well,
I will not apologize.
Nick, you heard that. I tried to get an apology out of him because I think a minor apology would be, I think, the right thing. The way you worded it to him, maybe that's where maybe the actual etiquette part, there's no apology needed there. But the way you worded it, the way you went about it.
You know what? I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
All right.
We're just going to leave it at that.
Leave it there. But other than that, the rest of the round was great until we got to the 17th hole and we all about died.
Yeah, and then somewhere in between there, I think we figured out that we got shadow banned by Instagram.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Does that mean we've made it?
I think so. I told someone, I was like, two things that you made it in life is when you get a cease and desist letter. Actually, three things. You get sued or you get shadow banned on Instagram for being just too witty McTitty on there.
That must be it.
So, but it was a good round. I had a blast. I also had a blast because I won pretty much all the money outside of 3 skins. So
yeah, it's always
and
great.
I never win money in that game ever. The 2-man blind draw, I always even if I play good, I end up with the dude that shot 87 as a 7 handicap.
Yeah, well, this one you cleaned up. You had, 3 of the 4 closest to the pins.
I did.
I had thought I had one, and then, of course, got beaten. And then, I don't know, there was too many skins. It really didn't matter. But then you and the other guy that played the best got paired up. So
yeah, once I got that draw, I was like, well, we're definitely going to be 3 or 4 under on the front. And I was like, and then he's like, well, I shot 35 on the back gross, and he was a 5 handicap. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be like at least 6 or 7 under on the back, and I think we ended up 8 under on the back and like 6 under on the front. So, and I don't even know if anybody was even remotely close. I think the next closest score was like 2 under and 3 under. So, yeah, it was always fun when you can win some money. So,
and then Memorial Day weekend, kind of the unofficial, official, either way, kickoff to summer. You played again Saturday morning.
I did. And it was the best round in the world, only because it was like we were out there. We were the first people off the tee. They only did a double wave, so we made a turn and didn't see anybody. I mean, like, we didn't wait on a single shot all day. Played in like 3 hours and 5 minutes. And we had fun. Like, we were, it was me, our buddy Cody, and Connor. And it was the most peaceful round of golf I think I've had in a really long time, just because it was, we were, Connor and Cody didn't play particularly well, but they played, like, when we got done, he was like, wow, Connor was like, I sucked so fast today. So it was just peaceful, and then we get done, and it's like, we're seeing people making the turn, they're like, you guys done already? We're like, yeah, we've been done for like 20 minutes. And being the first one off the tee, there's something nostalgic about it. Just sun's like just coming over the hills, and it was incredible. I mean, no details from it, just other than it was just being first off the tee on a Saturday morning is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Just unbelievable.
It reminds me of those early, like, high school rounds, on the weekend during the summer.
Oh, yeah. You like, get up, you're there by 7, you're done by 10:30. No, nothing more you can say about it.
All right, well, the rest of the golf for the weekend wraps up tomorrow. Got a little 4-man scramble action.
Yep.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah. It's drafting teams.
Speaking of draft, by the way, this is the longest we've taken to do this into the show.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Not that these are drafties, but cheers.
I mean, it's a holiday weekend. It's a holiday weekend. Oh, God.
Good God.
Synchronized. It's a holiday weekend. We're sitting here milking these. Like, we don't have to work tomorrow. And this is going to get released tomorrow, but this is a Sunday edition.
Oh, yeah.
This is a new for us. And probably Back 9 6-pack after dark, because I think this is the latest we've ever
also the latest. I think this is just us knowing ourselves that we're probably going to get out over the skis tomorrow.
Very over the skis tomorrow.
A record on a Monday holiday would have been a tough scene.
Or do it at a cookout tomorrow that we'll both be at with kids running around would have just been an utter disaster.
Oh, yeah. It would have just ended up with the kids on the podcast instead.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. But yeah, so tomorrow we got ABCD Scramble. Shout out Carl puts this together, and the Labor Day one. $100 a man. A's draft their team. And looking at the list right now, I think it's almost a foregone conclusion that we are probably going to be on the same team.
We're hopeful.
Can't say so. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot. But it is kind of a crapshoot because what people sometimes will do is like, I don't know this guy. I'm going to take him because I don't know him. Like they don't want to take somebody they know their game. So we'll see. But I think there's a pretty good chance we can end up on the same team tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, look, I'm out there to win, but more than anything, I just want the vibes. So
yeah, if we're going to play bad, you want to play bad with people you like.
Oh, no, we're going to play great. If we're together, we got this.
I'm coming off a win on the Labor Day one last year, too. And it's, $100 a man, 9 teams. It's a good little pot,
Yeah.
Not a bad little payday, and then some skins involved in there, too. So, yeah, it'll be fun. You'll hear probably next week. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's always a good time. The drafting format's cool, too.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like you're building your own team kind of thing. So
yeah, it should be a blast. The course has been in phenomenal shape. How was it Saturday actually compared even better than Friday?
I mean, I say it's dialed now. I mean but it's still kind of early. Yeah. I mean by June and July, this place is going to be, just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's already phenomenal. I mean, Friday, what did you think? I mean, I thought Friday was really
you could
nice.
still, the punch marks are still, visible on the greens, but
they're not
affecting
it.
Yeah, they're rolling so pure.
I mean, if you can't make a putt on these greens, it's 100% you.
Well, I think that's also why I'm excited about Monday. Just, I'm banking on the law of averages because I had a ton of putts around the hole that did not go in on Friday.
We all kind
even some deep ones that were
you did. You hit some really good putts that just didn't find the hole.
So I like the way the greens are rolling from both the speed and pureness perspective. I think that helps.
Yeah, they're hovering around 10.5 to 11. And for open play, that's a it's not slow, but it's also where you're not going to have people holding up play because they're, some pin placements out there can just be an absolute disaster with even 10.5 greens. So you're not going to have people dinking it around on the green and spending 20 minutes on every green. So that 10.5, 11, I think is a good sweet spot for greens. So
sure. Just rolling into Wednesday, we have league again on Wednesday. Are you playing?
Yeah, I'll be back from the Memorial by the time league starts. So.
Nice. So my wife and I have an official agreement about league night. When she's in school, because she teaches, I do not stay after. Fantastic news. This was the last week of school. Patio Beers will be back in my life this week.
Thank God.
I know.
It's getting lonely up there.
I know. So this time when I shoot my 46, I can come face the music instead of just running to the car.
I don't find out the next day on a text.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair, but man, you're really putting me in a hard spot here. I know. See, regardless.
It's fine. Danielle doesn't listen to the show.
Regardless of whether Danielle's in school or not, I hang around for at least one. Now, I don't stay super late, but I do hang around for at least one. So now I'll get to stay for a couple. But you put me in a tough spot here.
Sorry.
You're looking like the good guy, and I'm looking like the bad guy. So.
Sorry, I'm not sorry. This is a non-apology tour.
I get pinned as the bad guy most of the time, so I'm not really that worried about it. But
you got broad shoulders.
Yeah, I can carry quite the load. So, but I'm glad you'll be back on the patio. It's nice to hear about right after and not through a text I shot 46 today because I had 37 putts in 9 holes. So,
yeah, the quad father came out on last Wednesday for me. It's not good.
The quad father. I don't know if I've ever heard that.
It was not good.
Man, I would say I haven't had a quad in a while, but I took one last year. They're so bad you can't even be mad about it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just oh, that's an outlier. But
I didn't even get to tell you about this. Let's go. I'll go ahead and talk
about this. Go ahead. I want to hear it. I didn't know you had a quad.
We played blue, hole 8.
I don't want to hold a quad out there.
Well, this one I did. Hole 8. Hit a pretty good drive, but just went left naturally. Carried the trees. hits the hill and ends up down by the shed on the left.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's not by the shed. It's by one of the, 3 trees that's down there.
Okay.
2 to 3 feet and just to the left of the tree. So it's I'm very close to this tree.
Yes.
If I go right, it's I'm pitching backwards a long ways because the tree's in the way because there's a giant offshoot of it.
Yep.
This is what I should have done, regardless. What I tried to do was hit a 30-yard cut over the creek bed to
probably with
somewhere
a draw
by the
wind
green.
too.
I don't know what the wind was doing. It didn't matter at this point. I only had it's under 100 yards,
Yeah,
so.
you probably didn't have that far in.
But like I said, this is why I should have just chipped out, tried to make a par, accepted the bogey, right? Didn't do that. Goes left into the creek. I can get the ball, which is sitting on top of a bunch of algae, by the way. Almost fall in. Didn't fall in. But my point of relief was still in the dirt. So I'm in the dirt. Okay, 2 goes in, 3 comes out, hitting 4. Chunked it because it's off of dirt into the bunker. Somehow the ball with no speed on it plugs in the lip. Just fluffy sand, just goes in there. Hack that thing out. It goes a foot, but it's out of the thing. Out of the bunker. Skull fuck a chip. 2 putts later, it's an 8. So that's how you make a quad on hole 8.
But at least it was with the lost ball. I know you found the ball, but
yeah.
You took a penalty shot.
There was a penalty shot. And then
because the ones without penalty shots, because the last one I had was no penalty shots.
Yeah.
It was just dinking and dunking it around like an idiot.
I think it's just for league night, it's I just try to do too much stupid stuff because it's a hole-to-hole game, right? You're just trying to make skins or have opportunities to make
That's what I tell people all the time. I have a lot of 3 putts in skin, in Wednesday Night League.
Yeah.
They're man, it's I always, every time I play with you, I have 2 or 3. I'm because if I don't make the birdie putt, I don't really care whether I make par or not. That's just how so my scores sometimes aren't the best in league just because I'm I'm either going to make 4 birdies or I'm going to have 1 birdie and 4 3 putts. That's just how and some guys don't understand that. And maybe it's just because I'm I don't I want the skins. I don't really care about, my score or whatever, but I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. So I guess I do dumb stuff too.
But this was
putts and stuff.
This was the deadest of dead spots. I just threw course management out the window, and it was just a really bad mistake, and I paid for it, which was
it is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, we end this epic run of golf that we're on next Sunday with one of our favorite things that we do every single year.
I think it's the best outing we play in every year.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One, we don't get the you, Ryan, and Nick and I don't get to play. Other than that outing, I don't really know if we play a lot of golf. Right. Well, I don't know the last time we've been out and just played 18 holes outside of this outing. I couldn't pinpoint the day. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, the guys, the group of guys that play in this outing. One, feel, there's no cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think genuinely there's no cheating involved. One, there's no strings and pink balls and all this bull crap.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I don't think the groups in this outing cheat, which honestly just makes it more fun because you're not out there if we don't shoot 22 under, we're not going to win. You go out, you play your best, and most of the time, I think we've lost a couple times where it's yeah, that was possible. We left a couple shots out there and we lost by 1. It's that happens. And then I guess the last reason is it's for a really good cause, and we've been playing in it for 10 years? We've got to be coming up on 10 years.
Close to 10, yeah.
But I love this outing. Love it.
Yeah, and it's at Fairfield South Race, which, nothing to write home about, but
it's a good scramble
talk about
course,
it's a great scramble course and nostalgic courses for us. All 4 of us grew up playing high school matches on that course, and at the time then it felt such a every course that you played in high school felt it was awesome or bigger than it was.
I used to tell Fairfield was the greatest course in the world.
Right.
It's this place is in great condition, and we didn't know any better at the time, right? We didn't play other courses, a lot of other super nice courses.
Yeah,
but it's a great scramble course. There's a lot of risk reward too.
Oh yeah, even the par fours that are like gettable, like you got to hit a golf shot to
you
take
can
advantage
like
of it.
you can get it onto the green, like you can drive a couple greens.
What is it? 11 that we is
Yeah,
that
it's like a
the
direct
downhill
dogleg
right where it's like
you just
it's a blind shot basically. So like we always have like I'll lay one out there and you guys all rip at it and we'll go down and drive and watch them come in.
And the par fives are they're gettable, but require
you got to hit 2 good golf shots on 3.
I mean, you got to thread a driver through a 20-yard gap.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not even be 20 yards. It might even be 15.
Mm-hmm.
And just a great outing. I guess we should Phil Wyant, who was my buddy, two guys I used to work with, Chris and Andy. They always have they're on the same team. I worked with them when I first got into doing mortgages, and I remember like the first day, we started talking like, "Oh, you golf? Yeah." It's like, "Oh, you got to play in our golf outing. Like we've been doing it for years." And I remember that first year when I met him, like we played in it. And then I think we're coming up. I think this might be our 10th year because I've been in the business I'm in now for 10 years, and I met them. It might be 9, but I've been in the business for 10 years. So Phil Wyant was a friend of theirs that had passed away. And they've been doing that. They were buddies with in high school, and they've been doing the scramble ever since. Goes to a great cause, and then for what you get for your money, no better outing.
Oh yeah, you get pregame meal, postgame meal,
pregame conies. By the way.
Which, God,
is either good or bad. I don't know where you fall, but
I think it's like so bad it's good. It's one of those situations because it's like. You got to throw back 2 before,
spot,
and then whenever you make the turn, there's like a third coney coming too.
Yeah, because there's always some leftovers lingering around,
and you get a decent amount of drinks, and there's usually a keg up at the clubhouse, and it's just a blast. Like,
and then you get a steak dinner at the end, and it's for $100. Like,
and we're usually watching the memorial finish up, and it's just a great day.
Great day. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can get back in the winning circle. Don't believe we won last year.
We did not.
No,
but
I think we lost by 1.
It was another one of those we lost by 1. I think we've 3-4 times.
Yeah,
we've been able to win it. So
they always have really cool trophies, though. I know that.
I know it's always like the glass.
It's like fantastic.
They're cool.
They do a good event, and we're as a podcast this year we're sponsoring it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh hell yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, well. That's enough of our golf again. We're going to touch base on some pro golf here, even though, look, I'm going to assume you didn't watch much of this.
Yeah, I watched a little. I mean, I actually watched more on Thursday and Friday morning than I did this weekend, just the weekend pool opening. Today, I know we both had things going on today. I was up in Columbus today. So I didn't watch a ton over the weekend. Got to actually catch the playoff. A little bit. The last hole of the playoff.
Emiliano Grillo beat Adam Schenk in a playoff. I think it was the second hole he birdied it.
Yeah, and they both narrowly missed birdies on the first playoff hole.
Gotcha.
I thought they were both in, to be honest with you. I don't know how they both didn't go in, but Grillo, is this his first win?
No. So I'm not going to get the facts right, but he won like his first PGA Tour start. It was like the Fries.com or something.
But this is his first win since that, I think.
I'm pretty sure, unless he won a fall or winter thing that I missed. But yeah, it's probably that. Schenk, this is sort of the second time he's popped up. I think he was in it at Valspar. It's kind of like him and Jordan Spieth and
so that's
Taylor Moore won.
That's what I read. So it's Grillo's first win in 7 years.
Yeah, okay. So it was like the 2016 Fries or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that guy is a fantastic ball striker and just seems to never make enough putts to win. So, Colonial is a course that you can ball strike to death. So it doesn't surprise me someone like him got it done.
Yeah, but he's so small. Like, if you see him in person, he is like the small, like you wouldn't think he could hit it out of his shadow. But he's kind of like Rory. He's like small in stature, but like it sounds different coming off his club. I've actually got a chance to see him a couple times at the Memorial, and it's like you just wouldn't think this guy is like a golfer, right?
He's very much like a fairways and greens player. I think maybe the bigger story, though, is the continuation of the Michael block party, which is the block party over?
I mean, he's going to play in the. I don't know if they can revoke sponsors exemptions.
He's got to be,
but he's going to play.
Right?
He's going to play in the RBC Canadian, right? Yeah, I mean, look, and this is not a diss on him, and I feel like I have to say that because I loved the story last week. Like it was.
Oh yeah, you and I both.
Awesome. It's cool, and I went through my whole spiel about knowing a bunch of club pros and how a lot of those guys are really, really good golfers. They just don't get to play a lot of golf. But I love the story. So I don't want this to sound like a diss, but that is the difference between someone that you're like, that is the best golfer I know, and then like what a PGA Tour pro is, right? Like the guys that are PGA Tour pros, they go out and they do what he did in the PGA for the most part on a more consistent basis than what he's going to be able to do that. Like,
yeah,
he went on a heater. What he did in the PGA, like he went on a heater. That is like a normal week for a PGA Tour pro, right? Mm-hmm. And then their heaters are actually winning a tournament. So that's the biggest difference. I know a ton of guys that are unbelievable golfers, and they just the consistency's not there. And the heater is not as hot as some other heaters, right? Like that's just the biggest difference. And look, that's not a diss on him, and I would even think he would probably agree with me. You know, if he was sitting across the table right now, he would probably agree with me. Like, yeah, like that was my best playing that I could possibly do in the PGA.
He even said
and this is what I would normally do on a course as a tournament setup.
I mean, he even said it during the PGA. He was like, very well aware. He's like, this is the best week of my life. Like I'm living the best week of my life right now, that's really cool to have that recognition. Like that's self-awareness, right?
Yeah. Cause most of us, like when we live our best life, we don't even remember it until like, you don't even think it's your best part of, best thing that's ever happened to you until after it's over. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. He was able to enjoy that. And of course it would have been awesome to see him come out and make the cut and, back it up. Right. But we knew from a sustainability standpoint, it probably wasn't very likely. If it was better odds than minus 250, which is what I saw for him to miss the cut, I would have hammered that.
Yeah. Well, and just think about all the media stuff he did.
Exactly.
Between like Saturday last week, and I'm counting Saturday, but Saturday last week through Wednesday this past week. That alone, I know of at least 5 podcasts he was on. That's probably not even including like the media stuff he did at the tournament for Charles Schwab, and probably some other TV stuff that he did. Like the guy had to just be completely worn out. And I think you saw a little bit did you see his press conference on Thursday?
I didn't see it.
He got up on the mic and he was just like, look, like the best part about today is he goes, shooting 81. I think he shot 81 on the first day. He goes, I'm going to get to see my boys tomorrow.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm going to hop on a flight, and I'm going to get to see them for the first time in pretty much 2 weeks. And I was like, that's cool. Like, and you could tell that's how worn out he was.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he loves what's happened to him, and obviously he's going to be a folk hero for forever.
Yep.
But, like, the fact that when he got done shooting 81, he didn't even want to talk about his round. He just wanted to talk about how he's going to get to see his family finally. So, pretty cool. And I'm sad that it's over, and I would have loved to see him make the cut, but I think we kind of all knew this was coming at some point.
Yeah, well, hopefully we see him back at the RBC Canadian Open and, maybe gets a little rest and comes out there and who knows what could happen, right?
Yeah, maybe he brings the family out with him this time and doesn't, and he's not coming off a bunch of media stuff that he's going to be doing.
Right.
Who knows? He's not a bad he's not a bad golfer.
Obviously not.
You know what I mean? So he could catch another heater, and who knows? I hope he makes a cut. I hope he makes as much money as he can. So, but yeah, I think for now it's over. For now.
All right, so I don't think either of us wants to do this to him, but we're gonna have to talk about it. We needed to take a look at who needed the back 9 6-pack this week.
Man.
And hold on, just before anything, I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we have to discuss this. He shot 81 on Thursday. He had the highest total score in the field, which is 15 over for 2 days. His front nine in round one for that 81 was a 37. He had, it was 2 over par, so 4 bogeys and 2 birdies. Totally fine.
Did you see his front nine? The guy was a scrambling fool.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to him. Like, that 37 was earned.
Yeah.
Very earned. So.
Yeah, so he goes on to shoot 44, obviously, on the back. 3 doubles in his last 4 holes. I'm pretty sure, was this the round where he played the shot off the bridge, which actually was a nice recovery shot.
It was. Yeah, it was. That was Thursday. Yep.
But all I know is I hopped on Twitter at one point that night after not really watching, and the first thing I saw was like the picture of him hitting a shot from the bridge, and I was like, "Oh, sick!"
King.
Yeah,
king material there for sure.
So I'm not saying this is going to him. We'll talk about it, but that we had to talk about the 81, who I think probably should get it, given the circumstances here. It was Ben Martin today. Goes out in 39, so this is actually like he went 39-40 for 79. But what Ben Martin did was cost himself tons of money because he started the day at 4 under, ends the day at 5 over. 4 under was tied for 9th by the end of the day.
Yeah,
so
top 10 too is a pretty big paycheck, even not in a non-elevated event.
If he just hacks
that's
around,
probably a 6-figure paycheck in the top 10.
If he hacks it around for, he scrapes out an even par or 1 over or something and is like right around the top 10, totally fine tournament. Good way to cash in. Instead, he shoots 9 over and drops the tee 57.
It's bad. It's not good.
A triple and 3 doubles in the scorecard. A back 940.
It's not good.
No.
But let me say 2 things. This is for the integrity of the award.
Oh God.
Okay. We can't hold any punches back. Whether we've given the award to multiple people that I genuinely love. Okay, as players. Block party is no exception to the rule.
Oh my God.
All right. Number 2, when you shoot 44 in any tournament,
and it was the back 9,
as a unbelievable golfer, because he is an unbelievable. He's not as good as the PGA Tour pros, but he is an unbelievable golfer. He's top 0.0001% of golfers. And you shoot 44 on the back 9. Sorry. Like, I don't want to do it to him, but you get it. You have to.
I think you're
for
right.
The integrity of the award.
For the integrity of the
award. We can't hold any punches back. When we gave it to David Duvall, that broke my heart. I went home and cried myself asleep that night. Okay? Can't do it. Can't hold any punches back. And hopefully, he gets the back 9 6-pack bump.
Oh
in the RBC Canadian. You don't know. You never know.
I guess we're going to do it.
We have to. For the integrity of the award, we have to.
All right, Michael Block, you needed the back 9 6-pack this week.
We can't be taken seriously unless we hold to our ground rules. Look, Ben Martin, bad. That's not good. Probably cost himself $80,000, $90,000. But when you shoot 44 on the back 9, the hammer's coming for you. You will be the nail. So tough look, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully he gets the bump.
I hope he gets the bump. Speaking of the bump, we're monitoring Sam Burns, T6 this week.
Hey.
After getting it in a runaway victory last week.
1 week later.
Yeah. Almost an insta bump.
I'm telling you, you got to go through our winners and probably just pick them off a list and put them, bet on them in the U.S. Open or something. Maybe even at the Memorial this week.
Yeah.
Mike Block's not playing in the Memorial. Poor guy. He can't even get the bump the next week.
No, tough scene. Speaking of the Memorial.
My favorite week of the year.
There you go. I'm going to you just take the mic
just from going from Memorial Day into this tournament. And I've been going to the Memorial for, I don't know, probably the better part of 7 years. I've been taking my kids for kids for 4 years. It's, like from a standpoint, and I have been to a couple other PGA Tour tournaments, but from the standpoint of like how it's run, the affordability of actually eating at the golf course, concessions, it's not quite Augusta, but it's pretty close. So you can get a meal for $4.
Yeah.
So when you're taking kids out there, like I take my kids to the Pro-Am, and the Pro-Am is just, that is a whole nother story. It's just absolutely stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Not with the golfers, but, other sports,
Yeah, I mean, you've Peyton Manning, Eli Manning have been out there.
Peyton and Eli always playing it. Steph Curry played in it 2 years ago. He will be back again this year. He's got a contract with Workday. So Steph Curry is going to be there. I mean, like Jason Taylor has played in it. Like Smoltz. Like just every sport you could ever imagine, someone's probably played in it. Like, and they're big names.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing about, as far as the Pro-Am goes and why I take my kids to the Pro-Am is, they get to meet all these people. And I always tell the story. Last year, I took my middle kid, and we were sitting behind 9 green, and we're like, oh, crap. Like, I looked at my dad. I'm like, where's Kendall? And we're like looking around. My brother's like, oh, she's down there. I look down. She's on the ropes, and she's talking to this guy. And I was like, I looked at my dad and go, she's talking to Steve Young right now. She's having 5 years old, having a full-blown conversation with freaking a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh, my God.
And, he signed, before I even got down there, he, signed a ball, a golf ball for her, handed it to her, signed her flag. When I got down there, I took a picture with him. I'm like, you just don't get that. And just Memorial is just such a well-run tournament. They kind of get every aspect into it. I don't want to, this is going to be discounting Augusta, but it's like a mini, Jack wants it to be like a mini Masters.
Yeah, that's even in the design of the course. You can,
and the little details he kind of puts in, just, it's a mini Masters, and I love it. I go, this year, I'm going up. I'll be up there Wednesday with the kids, and then Thursday I'm taking my assistant Devin because she loves Victor Hovland. We're probably going to follow him around all day. And then Friday I'm taking Scott Johnson. Oh, man. I owe it to him. He's caddied for me in 3 events. I'm like, this is your year. You're coming up with me. We're going to do a Friday up there. So
I hope your Saturday is light.
It is. And then I've got my sister-in-law coming into town, so it'll be as light as it can be.
Yeah.
But it's just a great tournament, man. If you've never been up there, especially if you live in Ohio, find a way. Just go to a practice round, even a practice round. Practice rounds are more fun anyway. You get to interact with the players. The players will talk to you more. They're not going to talk to you when they're at work on a Thursday or Friday. Mm-hmm. But, man, I got a Memorial hat on as we record this. I love this tournament, and I will never renew my ticket. I will always renew my tickets every year, regardless. So I'll get off my pedestal now.
No, you're good. I was just going to say shout out to your boy Spencer, one of your former players who won our Sunday ticket giveaway.
Yeah, Spencer Curran, and he's going to go play college golf. It's awesome though because he was playing lacrosse to stay in shape. And tore his ACL.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a little hard to get around Memorial. They're probably going to have to find a fixed location for him to sit down in. But, yeah, it'll be a good he just graduated on Saturday, so it'll be a good graduation present for him that he won. I hope he enjoys it. Sunday, Sundays, like I said, and multiple videos. It's the best. If you're a true golf fan, I wish I could go, but we have our scramble every year. But Sunday is, I've seen more things out there. My memories from the Memorial happen on Sunday. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially with, this being kind of one of Tiger's focal point tournaments of his calendar every year, just dominated the course for so long.
Yeah, he loves Muirfield.
Yeah, so many moments over the years just based on him being there. And this is now, it was already an elevated event. Now it's a designated event. So you're going to get everybody pretty much. I doubt there's probably very few that skip, especially with where it sits in the calendar.
With and Jacks and stuff. And people are doing U.S. Open prep, and you always get, it's crazy the amount of guys that are unbelievably good golfers, and they might even be having good years that are not qualified for the U.S. Open yet. Mm-hmm. So a lot of guys come in, they play this tournament, they could play. If you really want to see guys like up close and personal, you go to the freaking U.S. Open qualifier in Columbus or Springfield on Monday, you know. But I remember the one story that always stands out. My dad had never been, and he was kind of hesitant about going, and I took him. And this was 19. This was 19. And Tiger was back in the field. And I told my dad, I said, look, we can't follow Tiger all day. You'll never have phone reception. So we was like, let's go up to 12 tee box and watch them come through 11. You can kind of see the green from 12 tee box. And then we can watch them hit tee shots on 12. And we watched a bunch of guys come through. And like you could see the crowd start rolling in. You're like, all right, here comes Tiger, And Tiger hits his tee shot on 11, has to lay up. He's like in the left second cut. And we can kind of see him. He's about 90 yards. And we're watching. And he hits this wedge. And it backspins in the hole. And it was the loudest. Outside of his chip on 16, the one year that the last time he won it, this was the loudest I've ever heard this course. Yeah. And my dad was just like I just watched Tiger hole like a 90-yard shot. And then he flags we're sitting on 12 tee box. He flags it to like a foot. And he was just like, and he's never even seen Tiger Woods in person. He was like, this is incredible. And he's gone back every year since. So, all right, I could go on for days and days talking about the Memorial, but it's just because it's Jack, and it's Muirfield, and Ohio doesn't. This is our only professional golf tournament. Well, outside the LPGA,
we get Corn Ferry, right?
Well, Corn Ferry comes to Columbus, yeah. But when you're talking like the PGA Tour LPGA, I mean, we only get two of them, and we just got the LPGA event. So, but yeah, we just don't get this that rolls through all the time. It's not like Texas where you have 7 events or whatever it is. Means a little more. So
definitely. I know that I don't think the odds are out yet, but I was checking and I didn't see anything, but I feel like this is a good week to, number one, this is a good course history course. Like a lot of guys that play well here continue to play well here. But then also, like, it feels like a spot for some of these guys that have recently underperformed to kind of jump back in because they have that good history here. Yeah, I think of, maybe Colin Morikawa gets off the mat, maybe JT gets off the mat.
Maybe a Patrick Cantlay. He just won it, 2 years ago?
Cantlay's always here at Memorial, it seems like, in contention. Tony Finau, your boy, should be a perfect course fit for him.
Yeah, and then you can just never leave John Rahm out.
Obviously, yeah, John Rahm.
Yeah, John Rahm, player in the world. 3 years ago, had the tournament, just absolutely won, and that whole debacle with him testing positive or whatever. But he had it won. What did he shoot, 30 on the back nine or something?
He was
something
up
stupid like that.
It was 4 or 5 shot lead.
And, you can never count him out, and it sets up so well. A lot of holes set up for his cut so well, and so it always seems like you just get, there might be some, odd names sprinkled in, but man, that leaderboard usually had them. Yeah, you might get, is loaded.
You might get a Duffner pop up or a David Lingmerth occasionally shows up, somebody like that. But for the most part, it's, hitters only.
Yeah, and if you've never played I've got the opportunity to play one time, and I will tell you, and I've played other courses that have had PGA Tour events, but it is, you can, when you play the course, you're like, oh, there's holes out here that separate guys. And even as good as those guys are, there are holes out there that will separate the best of the best and the best, right? So that's why that leaderboard is always just absolutely loaded.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, looking forward to the Memorial for sure. Memorial Day weekend, obviously huge kickoff to the summer. lots of cookouts, picnics, potlucks, whatever you want to call it. We want to take a second, do a little power ranking because it's been a while.
Yeah, I think mine are they might kick up some conversation a little bit. I got some hot takes in here.
We're going to do Memorial Day weekend potluck food power rankings. We're not including alcohol. Obviously, look, you're going to have your beverage of choice. 6-pack, 12-pack, 18-pack, whatever you're doing. Load the cooler up.
Maybe some high noons.
Yep, high noon today. Watermelon, I still think is the king.
Watermelon and pineapple high noons are. If you're looking for a break from beer, no better choice.
I'm always a lime guy. I can't. What can I say?
Yeah.
Anyway,
good.
I tried to approach this as, okay, I got one plate. The entire potluck's available to me. What are the items that are going on this plate?
Yeah. I mean, it's always a tough decision too, because you only have so much room.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't want to double plate it. Depending if you don't know people at the cookout, you might be like, oh, I don't want to look like the fat guy walking through the party with
the
two
best
plates.
thing that can happen to you is you got the platter plates out there, right?
That helps.
That's what you need. So I'll kick it off.
All right, let's hear it.
Because I said, we're talking appetizers, mains, sides, desserts, all of it is available. I needed to sneak a dessert in here.
See,
because here's the thing.
I guess one of mine could be considered a dessert-ish.
Right. I'm a savory guy, and my list is going to show that because you'll see. I'll start with an honorable mention just real quick.
Okay.
Because I think strawberry shortcake is to me, that feels like the most spring/summer is here.
Yeah, because strawberries they're in season.
Right. But it's not I wouldn't go to that.
No.
But this time of year, something that inevitably ends up around, the potlucks that I go to is cheesecake. Cheesecake is an elite dessert. I do not care who you are. I
would agree with you. Yeah, it's. I mean, it has its own restaurant, the Cheesecake Factory. Come on,
that's a great point. Bonus points if you get the mini cheesecakes of some kind. You get a little cupcake style Costco. Cheesecake, whatever it is. That fits perfect.
Those.
That fits perfect on your plate. That's what we need here. We need a mini cheesecake.
It's a room saver, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't take up a lot of space.
You don't have to eat a huge giant slice, right?
Yeah, you're not cutting into your other stuff because you have these little mini inch radius cheesecakes.
Yeah, but you got a little sweet tooth. You got to finish off, palate cleanser before you go back to your beers.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That's my number 6.
My number 6, and I'm getting very specific with this because I will tell you, and this might not hit for some people that are not, I know we have people that listen to this show outside of Cincinnati. And if you are one of those people, I command you that if you are even driving through Southwest Ohio, you have to get these. My number 6 is Grippo barbecue chips.
Ooh, that's a really good choice. I didn't even think about chips, but go ahead.
Chips are very good cookout food. It's easy, just grab a handful, put it on your plate. You can even sneak a couple, that don't go on your plate. And you're like, oh, I'm going to test these out. Put a couple in.
Grippo's barbecue.
And Grippo's barbecue is, listen, there is I don't care where you're at and you're like, oh, we got the best barbecue chips down here. No, you don't. No, you do not. Until your barbecue chips place starts selling seasoning with no chips, you do not have the best barbecue chips.
Yeah, these are I know they say once you pop, you can't stop for Pringles or Lay's or whatever it is. I'm telling you, Grippo's, I can, they'll just be around. I'm eating those all night.
I
can't stop.
I mean, they come in all different sizes. You got the box, the party size.
God, the box. Ooh.
The box, they always seem a little more loaded on the barbecue seasoning, which I always like to buy those.
You get to the bottom of that bag.
Dude, all the seasonings down at the bottom. And then you got the jumbo bag, and then you got a regular size bag, and then you got a personal size. They come in all different sizes. They do it right over at Grippo's. Okay, trust me when I say this. That is, if you are not in Cincinnati, if you are even in the vicinity, find Grippo's barbecue. You will agree with me. And honestly, it could have been even higher. I think it could have been top 3. just some other things kind of snuck in the way. But
That's a great choice. I love that. We going to me or
yeah, go
all
for
right,
it.
We're going for it. I had to find a way to get an appetizer on this list, just like I had to force a dessert in. I'm forcing an app because look, I'm a huge grazer and a huge dip guy. So I'll be going around that, wherever all the apps are, I'm going to be trying all the dips, mixing and matching. Got to do it big. The one I want to add here is specifically my mom's taco dip.
Taco dips are always good.
Taco dip goes so hard.
All kinds of different ways, too.
Oh. So I've even kind of adapted my mom's recipe to do my own, which, its own thing. But when someone else makes it, too, that's a big key for me.
Yeah, they're a little more involved. Like, you definitely, there's some time associated with making a good taco dip. But, like the toppings, like, you can go tomato, lettuce, maybe some olives. I don't like olives, but I know some people that like them on there. You can even sprinkle a little onion on top.
Yeah, you want a little spice, kick to it. Throw some jalapenos in there. Mix it into the
you can do
cheese.
Anything with it.
Yeah.
I agree. I
love taco
I didn't
dip.
associate that so much with Memorial Day, but I know that, like, there will definitely, the one we're going to tomorrow, there will definitely be a taco dip there.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost guaranteed. But yeah, no, I like that. Oh, man, I love me a good taco dip, too.
So good.
So good. Real quick, I know I didn't mention, I do have an honorable mention. This is going to be my dessert. Bomb Pops.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Bomb Pops, listen, like, if I went and bought a whole box right now, I could probably kill at least 10 of the 12. And then I would just be like, not even, it's not a filler. It's more of like this is summer. I'm eating the Bomb Pop. That's my honor. I forgot to mention that, but that's my dessert because my number 5 could be considered dessert, but it might be more of a, I guess a side.
Okay.
Watermelon.
Nice.
I'm a big watermelon guy. I could eat a whole watermelon myself. You put it in front of, like, yesterday, had our pool opening party in the neighborhood. I ate no less than 17 ounces of watermelon. I just kept going back. I'm like, just scooping stuff onto my plate, like the watermelon. And I just couldn't have enough of it. And I guess, again, could be dessert. I would say it's more of a side, especially this time of year. No salt, though. Weirdos that put salt on their watermelon, get out of here.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, well, there's people that put salt on their watermelon.
I mean, I guess I get like the sweet salty combo, but still.
You don't want to ruin a good watermelon with a lot of salt.
Yeah.
And we're getting older. We need to worry about our blood pressure. So no salt on the watermelon. But that's my number 5. And again, could be a dessert, probably more of a side, but especially at a cookout.
No, I can't argue with it. Number 4 for me feels like this could be higher up, but I think there's a little bit of like a mess factor with this that it's a difficult add to the plate sometimes depending on your situation. I'm going to cheat it a little bit. Any kind of like barbecue / ribs.
Okay.
Even like barbecue chicken, pulled pork,
A little messy.
ribs, all like these are messy situations.
Yeah.
And depending on how
you're not going to want to touch anything for like 20 minutes. But.
Depending on how you like your barbecue prepared, like do you want it smoked? Do you just want this stuff like lathered in barbecue sauce? Are you not a barbecue sauce person?
But yeah.
Like I could see why it'd be lower in people's ranks, but like once like the smoking and the barbecue and all that stuff comes out, I mean that's summer.
Man, yeah, I don't have that meat on my list, but because I think it's more involved. I guess it just depends on whose house you're at.
Right.
Like if you're at a big smoker's
there could
house,
be brisket. You know what I mean?
But like if you're at a big smoker's house, you're probably going to have some ribs or smoked chicken somewhere. I'm a latherer when it comes to meats. I like to lather the barbecue sauce. Like I want that cow that's already dead to be drowning in barbecue sauce.
I'm a
like
huge
double dead.
Huge condiment guy, so
I do
get
like
it.
condiments too.
Yeah, any kind of sauce or whatever, I'm trying it all.
That kind of leads to my 4. There is nothing better than a chunky potato salad.
Oh.
I want my potato salad. I want the chunks of potatoes to be very big, and I want the maximum amount of mustard and mayonnaise and whatever the hell else goes on the potato salad. I've never actually made it personally, but I want it absolutely mayonnaised out. Like, I'm a condiment guy. Mayonnaise is a top 5 condiment in every world. But the potato salad, man, and again, it's like you can put anything in a potato salad and it's not going to be bad. It's just not. Ugh. You want chives in there? Throw you some chives in your potato salad. You want pickles? You want diced up pickles? Throw some diced up pickles in there. I don't care. I'm still going to eat it.
Yeah, you want to go steakhouse style? Get your loaded potatoes salad.
Yeah, you can do it that way too. You can do it with bacon, like
get
you
some
can do
bacon, some dill, some ranch, whatever you want. Yeah,
I've seen potato salad made probably 150 different ways. None of them are bad.
We are lockstep.
None of them
on
are
this
bad.
One. Look, it's sneak peek higher on my list, so we are lockstep on this one.
All right. That's all I could go on for days about potato salad, but that's my number 4
for sure. My number 3. This is such a basic one, but I think it truly is like the sign of summer in Ohio specifically. Corn on the cob.
Man, it didn't make my list, but I agree with you.
It's super basic, but
just
all
because we're a farming state and stuff like that, and we've got a lot of cornfields.
Yeah, my grandpa for a long time lived out in the Ross area, and I can just remember the summer nights driving by, and like you can smell the corn in the cornfield.
Yeah, when
there's like pop-up shops selling corn on the cob on corners of our streets around here.
There ain't nothing better than a cob of white, just white.
Yeah, the white corn.
The sweet white. Oh man.
Yeah, so there's.
I made a mistake of leaving that off of mine.
You can do it up with, if you want to eat it plain, you can. You can put butter and salt on it, maybe throw a little garlic on there.
Man, we eat so much corn on the cob in my house, too. Like, it would be like a random Saturday, we're like, throw some corn on the cob on the grill. I love it on the grill. Yeah. Like, wrap it up in aluminum foil, put some salt and pepper in there. You can maybe even throw a little Cajun in there if you want a little spice.
Yeah, you can, endless ways to do it up.
Again. Yeah, I like, God, I may have made a mistake of leaving that off there, but I'm going to stick with my list. I'm going to stick with it. But I just think, thinking about corn on the cob right now is making me hungry.
Yeah, it's super basic, but it's just like, if you're having a grill out or whatever.
It's a very Midwest thing, though.
It's a staple,
Like, it's a Midwest thing, because we grow most of the corn, to have, like, that, for people to, like, love corn on the cob.
Yeah.
All right, my 3, a cheeseburger, loaded.
Weird.
Not doing like just ketchup or no, but no pickle. Pickles are lame.
This is a bad take. I hope everybody flames you for this. I hope everybody flames you for this.
Listen, the only way pickles are good is if they're fucking battered and fried. Served as...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, fried pickles are good, don't get me wrong.
But a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, massive amount of onions, some mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard. Like I said, condiment guy too. We're loading all the condiments on there. And there's nothing better than a good cheeseburger. Like, especially made on a grill. Because I think we get watered down cheeseburgers in this country. Okay? You go to McDonald's, crap. Wendy's swears they have the best burgers. And they probably are just because they don't freeze them. Still not as good as just making your own burger on your own grill or a grill in general. So I think that's a kind of a staple top 3.
Yeah, I mean, you've hit we've already talked about my 1 and 2 here through your picks. So
wow, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then what's your 2?
Number 2 is, okay, before I decided to add corn on the cob, this was going to be my only side. Potato salad is far and away just absolutely dunks on every other side at any potluck ever.
I got another salad in the top 2.
You're crazy. Oh, my God. Okay, we might have to fight if this is what I think it is. But anyway, potato salad is the GOAT of sides for barbecue or for, grill outs, cookouts, and stuff. Like you said, any way you want to do it, I'm eating it. Does not matter. Potato salad, far and away the best for me.
All right.
Is this oh no.
My 2?
Okay.
Pasta salad.
Okay. We're not going to fight. It's fine.
Again, you can put anything in it, and it's going to be good. You want cube cheese? put it in there. You want some little pepperonis? Put them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want some chickpeas in there? Put them in there.
You're talking specifically like an Italian pasta salad?
Italian pasta salad. It's got to have Italian dressing, though.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like the Caesar ones and stuff.
I'll lie. I can get down with a little bit of like a Greek style one, you know? You do
maybe that.
Little Kalamata olive or something like that, I'm in.
But like, if you're going anything other than that or Italian, you're insane. But it's so funny that potato salad is in your top 2. Pasta salad's in mine.
Potato salad
that is a Midwest thing. We salad the shit out of everything.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Because, again, Danielle from Texas, she's like, all these fucking salads. You got potato salad, pasta salad, Jello salad. Like, there's salads fucking everywhere at a cookout. And none of them are actual, like, lettuce salads. So...
Couple things. I thought we were going to fight because I thought you were going to say macaroni salad.
Oh, trash.
Exactly.
On the record.
Apologies to my family. They all love macaroni salad.
It's absolutely trash. I've never had a good
worst.
macaroni
I can't
salad.
do it.
Nope.
And the second thing, when we were just talking, I think potato salad might take up the most real estate on my plate.
It does. Because, again, if the
purposely,
potatoes are really chunky, they will definitely take up a lot.
But I'm saying I'm doing it on purpose. Even though it's not my number one, it's like what I want on my plate.
I think what's good about pasta salad too is it kind of, because potato salad, I will load up on potato salad.
Yeah.
But pasta salad kind of like gets into the crevices and doesn't take up a lot of space.
You're right. It does.
It kind of sinks down in between your other sides.
Yeah.
And just like disappears. That's why I like it.
No,
but the pasta salad has to be made with like the real spinny ones. Macaroni, trash.
Yeah, you want rotini noodles.
Yeah, rotini. Yeah, that's what it has to be. If you're making pasta salad, anything else, you're doing it wrong.
Totally agree. Something that maybe this is your number one. I don't want to step in your territory here, so I'll wait till you're done. We'll come back to that. My number one, I kind of cheated because I always cheat at this. I put burgers, brats, Mets, dogs, like that as a category.
See, I that's my number one too, but I'm very specific with mine.
Yeah, so I know what you're going to say is your number one then. So, but anyway, like burgers, brats, Mets, like that is like a category to its own for me for a cookout. Right?
Okay, that makes sense. Like
I know they're
general
different,
needs.
But it's like I'm having those things no matter what. I don't care what else is on the menu. Like I'm going to put down a burger.
You might not like any of the sides, but you're going to have those.
For sure. And it's like you walk in, you're doing apps or whatever, but like maybe the hot dog and stuff are done. Sneak a little hot dog, sneak a little brat. It doesn't even count as on your plate.
No.
It's a pre. It's
hot dogs on the grill too. Are just.
I'm not a hot dog guy, but
if you're gonna eat a hot dog, it's gonna be off the grill.
Oh yeah. There's no other way to eat a hot dog. Good God. I guess you know what? I lied. We're Cincinnatians. You get it in
boil them.
Well, a cheese coney. That's a little different situation. But yeah, everything you said about hamburgers already outlined. But like, look, we're Porkopolis. We're the Queen City. We're founded on sausages. You got like a good bratwurst, a good metwurst, all the toppings on it, like all the different mustards, horseradish. If there's relish, I'm a big sauerkraut guy. I would hammer sauerkraut.
Oh yeah. If it's there, it's going on.
Exactly.
100%.
That's my number one. It's like the food of a cookout.
Okay, so my number one is that, but more specific. I need a spicy ass Met. Like I want to look that Met in the face and go, I'm making a bad decision right now, but I'm so blinded by how good this is going to taste. I'm not going to care in the morning. That's the kind of Met I want.
I'm with you. That's what it is. Yeah.
And I think there's been multiple pictures. Like, we'll weave a cookout, and someone will send a picture, whoever hosted, it's like, oh, I found a spicy Met in the fridge. I'm going to eat this.
Reheating this thing. It's either the late night snack or, like, the next day, you're get home from work and you're hungry.
Oh, my God. And we have a specific kind. It's called Queen City hot Mets. And I'm telling you, they're so hot, you can see seeds in the Met.
The other one is the bluegrass jalapeno cheddar Mets.
Those are also unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But the Queen City ones, where you can see a seed in the sausage, dude, those things will light your world up.
Yeah. In
some ways good, and some ways bad.
And you throw those down with the Grippos, and you're really cooking.
Yeah.
Really
cooking. Or sitting. One of the, I mean, probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But that's my number one. Those things are so freaking good. Oh my God. I could eat 4 of them. I just know it's going to be but that's the thing. I think a good food is like, you're going to eat it regardless of how you know it's going to make you feel.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like potato salads are going to make you feel bloated. But you're like, I'm still going to eat it.
No. For sure.
You know, I think a good food is that. Like, you know it's a bad decision, but you're still going to eat it anyway. Just like cheesecake. You're like, I know this has 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to eat it. Like,
calories don't count on, holiday weekends and cookouts.
No.
You worry about that later. A couple of just honorable mentions. One, I think we're going to get absolutely torched for not mentioning. That would be mac and cheese, which I didn't put it on because I don't associate it necessarily with...
I associate that more with, like, Thanksgiving.
Right. It's more of like a warm weather or a cold weather kind of thing, right?
I don't know. I mean, I would probably top 10.
There are people that just swear by mac and cheese, though, so I know those people... will call us out for that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I will say, though, I'm not a mac and cheese guy unless it's like a homemade one.
Gotta be homemade.
Has to be homemade. We're not doing this with Stofers and
or
Easy
even
Mac.
Like, as much as I love Costco, like Costco has like pre-made mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Like, get that out of here.
Yeah, we don't need that. The other one, might just be a me thing, but I freaking love coleslaw. And especially if you're having barbecue.
Okay, I said honorable mention for me was the Bomb Pops. When I played in the outing last Sunday with Gunth, like they had coleslaw. Dude, I hammered like 4 servings of it.
I love coleslaw.
If it's made right.
For sure.
And honestly, homemade coleslaw, trash. I want the commercialized coleslaw.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Because, like, honestly, KFC's coleslaw slaps.
Dude, it's so good.
It slaps.
That's the kind of coleslaw I'm talking about, because that's all the commercial coleslaw.
Yeah, you like going to Kroger and you buy.
Like I want the coleslaw out of Kroger.
I get it. I like both, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, oh God, coleslaw.
But especially,
I if I had to put a ranking on it, it would be like just outside my top 6.
I'm with you. That's why I left an honorable mention. But like, especially for me, like with barbecue, like if I'm having barbecue, I'll put the coleslaw
you have to
on
have
it.
Coleslaw if you're doing barbecue. You have to.
It's great.
Like you can put it on your barbecue sandwich. Like if you ever do
that's what I do. 100%.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That's a good honorable mention.
All right. Is it time?
I think so.
Patio Beers, as the second tall boy Miller Lite hits. Good timing.
Fill up the cup here.
This is
Do
where
we want to talk about my cup real quick?
I don't really want to talk about your cup, but you can.
This is my Kevin Kisner cup.
I know, I see that.
Look at him. Stare at him. He's on a cold streak right now.
A cold streak?
I love this cup. My sister-in-law made this for me. Says this ain't no hobby, fellas, on the side. One of my favorite cups. One of my favorite summer drinking cups, by the way. But it's time. We're doing patio beers. Anything goes on the patio. Last week, thank God Danielle doesn't listen.
You survived your renting?
I did.
Comments?
It was so okay. I got to tell this story real quick, and I don't know if he's going to listen to this episode. So I teased it on Facebook. I said, listen to this week's episode. Here's the things that happened, and then I was like, patio beers kind of go sideways, and I in parentheses put please don't listen, Danielle. And he's like, I was talking to him at our pool party yesterday. He goes, you tipped my interest, so I listened. And he goes, and he's in finance, right? Like he's like he manages 401k stuff like that. He goes, what are the 3 things again? He's like, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm like, cars, boats, and women. And he's like, all right. He was like, I knew what he thought it was the best thing in the world. And he was like, did she listen? I'm like, no, she doesn't listen. I'm like, thank God. But he was like, you tipped my interest with that. And he was like, thought it was kind of funny. And actually, I want to give credit to the person I heard that from. It was my financial advisor, who is also my fraternity brother, Richard Cook. I have to give him credit. I do actually think he listens, so I have to give him credit. The first time I heard that was from him. It was from him. So
okay. So not your words. You're
Shout out.
You're just quoting someone else.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All right, let's go. I went first last week. You can go this week.
We actually remembered this time. I'll go first. This one I really want to ask because I think we might dig deep here. I don't know, this could get, depending on what you go with and what your answer is.
Ooh, I like these.
This could unearth some feelings. I know what mine is, and it's not near. Like I said, I think this is a much more serious question for you just because of the nature of your golf career. All right. If you could re-hit any golf shot in your life so far, what would it be?
Man, that's a good question. Because there's like 4 or 5 that come to mind, but like, what's the most important one? All right. Yeah, this is going to take it deep because there is one. So our senior year in high school, so 11 at Miami Whitewaters, that dog leg right, trips people up. It's a hard, and I mean, I've played a lot of golf courses from the standpoint of length and what you can actually hit off. You can hit any club off the tee, but every club that's longer is exponentially more risk, right? Which I think is a good golf hole. Like, you can hit driver, but you need to know the risks that come with hitting driver. It's just all around, and it's long. I mean, it's, what is it, like 430? Maybe it was probably like 450 from the back tees.
If you play it safe and hit, 4, maybe 5 iron or whatever, you still got like maybe that club back in your hand again for the second shot.
Yes, correct. Yeah. I mean, it maybe even a hybrid or something.
Yeah.
So we started on the back 9. So it was our second hole of the day. I par 1, and I have this hole coming up. And I remember I told myself all week that we're not going to play passive, we're going to play aggressive. I hit driver right, or no, I hit it left into the hazard. Ended up making 6. And we missed by, 1 shot?
Yep.
And so I'm sitting, I didn't play bad. I didn't play my greatest, but I didn't play bad. I think I ended up shooting like 76 or 77, something like that. But from a standpoint of like, when you get done and you're like, fuck, if I just make bogey, it puts us into a playoff. If I hit 4 iron and make par, we're it. Like, we move on to districts. That tee shot, if I could go back, I'd hit a 4 iron and then trust my short game.
Yeah.
That is the one that because there's other ones that I've had and I'm like, oh, like I could have done. No, that is the one that's like, that I know from without a doubt that shot there were different outcomes if I hit different clubs, without a doubt. Because a 4 iron, you can hit it pretty far left and not get to the stuff.
Exactly.
A driver is going to get to the stuff on the left. A 4 iron is going to, unless I hit it 80 yards left, it's not going to get to the stuff. That's the shot that I would re-hit, 100%.
So when I came up with this question, I knew that the answer was going to be from this round. I just didn't know the specifics of your round and how it shook out.
Yeah,
so I didn't know what shot it would be.
I mean, there was other stuff like 3 putts and stuff, but like when I look back at it, like, okay, you can't really change 3 putts, but what I could have changed is what club I hit off that tee box.
Yeah.
Because like 3 putts are going to happen, bad breaks are going to happen, things like that. You can't really change those, but the club that I hit off that tee, and I remember vividly that I did not hit driver off that tee in matches that we had on that side all year.
Yeah.
I carried a 2 iron at the time. I hit a 2 iron or a 4 iron. And it just kind of depended. Like if it was a little in the wind, I hit a 2 iron. If it was not in the wind, I hit a 4 iron. And but I kept telling myself, because I'd always played that tournament, the sectionals a little passive. I was like, we're going to be aggressive and we're out here to make birdies. And I remember pulling driver, and when my dad would down by the lake, and he was like, where's it at? And I said, it's gone. It's like, I went to hazard. And he's like, you hit driver, didn't you? And he's like, why would you do anything different than you ever did? That's the shot that because again, it's not even from what happened with the shot. It's like, if I just hit a different club and I hit it on the same line, I'm in the middle of the fairway.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
I knew that would be it. Something from
Thanks
that
for bringing up bad memories.
You're welcome. I just wanted to...
what? Oh, okay. Well, let's hear yours.
Hold on. Well, from my perspective, being there that day, like, it's documented already. I wasn't playing in that round, but I was there, and I remember the scene afterwards, and just, like, how upset you were with yourself, mainly because you knew... Or you at least felt like you had let the team down, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, that's the highest score I shot on that course all year.
Exactly.
And again, it was like 76 or 77.
And you were just coming off winning the conference tournament and, playing well. Yeah.
It was that I remember, I tell people about that all the time. I'm like, there is always a time to play aggressive. And I think now you could even, like, I've always played pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
But there's a time and a place for it, right? And I will tell you, when that round got done, I instantly, there were some other things that kind of happened. Like, I got a couple bad breaks, but like, I instantly went back to that tee shot and I was like, motherfucker, if I hit it on the same line with a 4-iron, I'm 210 yards out with the same exact club in my hand, hitting 2 rather than hitting 3. And it kind of blocked out. Even when you drop, you're kind of blocked out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I made double. And I was like, I remember getting done and signing my scorecard. I'm like, I went back exactly to that hole. And I'm like, man, it's like, even when you're playing your regular ball, like, things that happen on 2 affect what happens after 18. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't think about that. They're like, oh, first couple holes, boo, boo, boo. It's like, and then you get done, you're like, oh, shit, like, I shot my best. I tied my best score today. If I just wouldn't have fucked around on 2 or 3, I would have probably had my best round today, right? That was the same feeling I had walking off the green. So,
yeah. Sorry for bringing up a bad memory, but
man,
I was just curious because I don't have the tournament experience you have. So
I think I know the one you're going to say, though.
You do know,
and I was there.
The 2021 Stampede. Gunth and I, at this point, this is our first year playing together in the tournament. We're in the shootout. We make it to the 3rd hole, final 4 teams. So last year he carried us to a win, so I can't say anything really bad about him.
No, but he struggled.
However, the first year, it was basically me scratching together pars to get us to that point.
Yeah, you played well.
He chunked the putt. Like, if we haven't talked about that yet, he did chunk a putt in the shootout.
He did. Yes, he did. I think that would be his shot.
Definitely. So we get to the first hole on the white course. It's, like I said, 3rd hole of the shootout. Hit drive right down the middle. Didn't catch it totally clean, so I had a little bit of distance into the green.
Yeah, you didn't hit drive. You didn't hit it solid.
No, it was a little drop kick, but it was right down the middle. I was between clubs. I was debating between 7 and 8 iron. I had 160 something, low 160s, which, I'm usually right in that range.
And if I remember right, there was a little bit of a wind in your face. It wasn't a ton, but it was a little bit.
Not too much. Not enough to, I don't think, affect the shot, really. But the whole time we've been playing, I feel like I had done a really good job this week of, managing my misses and, being prepared
Small
to,
misses.
Yes. And, missing in the right spot, being able to get up and down a lot. So we get up there. I'm between clubs. Gunth's telling me to hit the 7 iron. It's my 165 club. And I'm like, dude, I just, if it goes long, because it was a back pin.
It was a back pin. Yeah, it was back left, actually, which is a really tough pin.
And I was like, if my miss is left, so if I'm long left, it's mega dead. I was like, I just don't want to.
Very, very dead.
Yeah, I just don't want to risk it. And so, I hit the 8. Comes up short. Well, it comes up short in some, thick rough, and it's, sitting down. And so, long story short, that chip doesn't come out great, and I end up with a 25-footer for
par.
I
remember. Yeah, you left a little short.
Don't make it. We're out of the shootout now. I just wish I would have pulled the 7 iron.
Again, I think it's I think it's good of us that we chose shots that we could have probably changed just by changing a club, rather than like, well, if I wouldn't have sliced this shot, 35 yards right, like I would have, I want to re-hit that. No, it's like you could have. It was a controllable that you could change.
Yep. And I remember Sean.
I knew that was the one you were going to go with. But.
Sean coming up to me after and was like, because he was standing there like we're the last.
And
group.
He heard the conversation.
And he was like, I just wanted to grab you and shake you and be like, dude, you have to hit the club that's going to get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I mean,
especially
I get
in
it
that,
now.
and like I don't know if you were getting a shot in there, but yeah, you had to hit the one that was going to get.
I think everyone that was left was getting a shot on that hole, but regardless, it was like
you got to hit the one that's going to get it.
Well, you got to plan to hit the ball like you want to, right? Like, you got to plan for the good shot.
You can't plan for adrenaline, right? Like, maybe a little bit, but, like, you cannot plan for adrenaline. So, like, you've got to hit, like, you got to play your regular game like you're going to hit that club. The exact, what you usually hit.
Yes, well, I guess.
Because I do know what goes through your head. Like, I've been in those situations. You're like, I'm really pumped up. Like, I should probably hit last club. But you can't. As soon as you plan for it, it never happens, right?
Well, I'm thinking more from the aspect of, like, you should plan to hit a good shot. Like, why was I so worried about, like, what the miss is going to be?
Or pulling it or, whatever.
Like, I need to go into the shot thinking, like, this is the shot I'm going to hit, and I'm going to hit the shot, rather than, like, instantly being, like, focused on the miss, right?
Yes.
Like, it's good to have an idea of what you would like for your miss to be, but, like, in that situation,
100%.
hit the club is going to get there.
Yep.
So that's mine for sure.
All right, my question. If you could have a conversation with someone that is no longer alive, who would it be? Not relegated to golf or anything like that.
God, dude, you're about to make me cry on here.
Yeah, why would you?
Shit.
Mine's the reason I have mine is funny, but
okay. Is yours like a family member or no?
No. Like a famous. Like mine's like a famous person.
Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to the feels, and it's a family member.
Damn.
I know.
Really?
I don't have a good concept of like who.
I mean, I could have gone family member. I 100% could have.
Well, God, dude. All right.
But I went someone that I'm like, okay, I think this would be very interesting to talk to this person. And they've been gone for a really long time. But
yeah, I mean, there is like the historical thing, right? Like
mine's a historical figure for sure. Yep.
If I thought about it more, but I'll go with what came to my mind. It'd be my grandpa Wilcox. He passed away a couple years ago. His 99th birthday would have been the 24th. That was Wednesday. When he got sick and was, ended up passing away, like he was at a point where didn't really know what was going on and everything. And I was so emotional the day that I got to like say goodbye to him, where like I couldn't even actually say anything.
Yeah.
So like I would just want to be able to have like that final conversation and like actually be able to say something,
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. So if it was someone famous, who would it be?
Someone famous. That's so tough. There's just, obviously so many people.
I had like 4 or 5 that came to my head. I guess I was thinking of more of like someone famous. I didn't phrase it that way because I did think of couple family members or whatever. But if it was someone famous, there was like 4 or 5 that kind of came to my head. And I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to talk.
Well, tell me what yours is, and maybe that'll spark.
All right, so mine, Benjamin Franklin. The guy was like, he was a rapper before rappers were even a thing. Like, have you seen some of the things he spit out?
Is he spitting verses?
He's spitting verses. Hold on. Let me pull these up. Because I think you need to hear these. Because they're freaking hilarious. Not hilarious, but like they're good. They're good advice. But like, they could 100% be in a rap song.
Yeah.
It's like, he that falls in love with himself will never have rivals. Like, that would 100% be in a rap song. Hold on, one more time. He that lies down with dogs shall rise up with fleas. Like, I feel like that would 100% be in a rap song. Like, and it's wisdom, right? Better slip with a foot than a tongue. Straight from Benjamin Franklin's mouth.
Yeah, that sounds like a Lil Wayne lyric.
That 100% sounds like. Look before or you will find yourself behind.
Oh.
That's a rap lyric. Like, this guy is spitting absolute fire back in the 1700s. Actually, these were all pretty much in the 1736, 1737 range.
Yeah.
A true friend is the best possession. Yeah.
Look at
Lost time is never found again. That's
Accurate.
That's again. And some of the other stuff he said, and I think that would be someone that you would like sit down at a bar and have a beer with, and then like you talk to him. Like if he was alive today, he was like, "Hey Ben, let's like meet up for a beer," and then like, you would sit and he would like drop some stuff like that on you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, "Hey, I'm going through this right now," and he would drop a line like that on you.
Yeah, I mean, the second I think about someone famous or historic or whatever, like I thought back to like, founding fathers or whatever too. So sounds lame to now say after you said Ben Franklin, like it'd be cool to talk to George Washington, right? Like the wealth of knowledge he had and, founding
and
a nation
thing,
essentially.
Again, with George Washington, he didn't even want power. He's like, "I don't want to be president." And they're like, "You're so fucking awesome. We'll make you president." Like, and he didn't even want it.
Well, yeah, and then he quit after 8 years because he thought that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Sick.
And they're like Benjamin Franklin, same thing. Like, he could have easily been president. Like, being one of the founding fathers. But he was like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
Like, that, I think, to me, that's cool.
No, that's definitely a good answer. God, I'm so bad at this. I'm just drawing a blank, but like, I'm sure I'd have a list of 10.
My 2 was Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Like,
being
if
a
we're
golfer.
going the golf route.
Yeah.
My 3 was Donald Ross.
That would be interesting just because, the course they play at, and obviously he's like the father of American golf, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Walter Hagen was 4.
Well.
Because he's a partier. I'd love to hear his stories.
Yeah,
he was John Daly before John Daly.
Okay, I didn't know that about Walter.
Yeah,
Hagen.
he was like a partier. Obviously, one of the first professional golfers. He was a professional golfer before it was cool to be a professional golfer. Like, everybody was amateurs. He was like, "I don't play for free," so he was like one of the first ones.
Yeah, I mean, based on everything I know about him, it sounds like Ben Hogan was pretty much a curmudgeon, but like. I think he'd be fascinating to talk to.
Yeah, like sit down and talk to. Yeah,
he was like what? He was like hit by a bus and then went on to win a major championship or whatever. Like,
incredible. Yeah,
just cool stories. I mean, there's like an endless list you could go to here.
The other one I was thinking of would be Jimi Hendrix, like outside of golf.
Yeah, like
a musician, Jimi Hendrix would be really cool. I think to have a conversation with, just like the whole Woodstock thing and.
Oh,
that would be an incredible experience.
Electric national anthem performance.
That's what I'm saying. Like someone like him, obviously, like you throw in other guys like Martin Luther King. I think John F. Kennedy would be a really cool person to talk to.
Yeah,
like historical figures. Now, if we're going like celebrities, I don't know what celebrities kind of come to your mind. I'm like that are no longer with us. Like, I couldn't really think of any celebrities.
I'm so bad. Just like I'm not like a big pop culture celebrity kind of guy. So
like Al Capone
misses me
would be cool. Like I know that's not a celebrity, but Al Capone would be like kind of a cool conversation. I mean, he's like, I know he's a criminal, but like he's smart. Like I think that would be a very cool conversation to have. Like, how do you run your business? Like, give me a drop down and how you. I don't know. I could go on for days, but
I know.
Like celebrities, I'm not a big celebrity person. Like musicians, like I would, like again, like I said, Jimi Hendrix. Kurt Cobain would be, I think, a pretty cool conversation to have.
Yeah.
But like celebrities, like, oh, I was in this movie. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, that's not.
John Wayne would be kind of cool, I guess, if you're talking about celebrities.
Right.
Because he was a movie star, but
I mean, know. So I'm pretty sure he's passed. Jack Kerouac is one of my favorite authors. I think he'd be a fascinating person to talk to. Cool.
Yeah, I know who he is. I don't read much, but I actually know who he is.
I mean, so back when I was a kid, like Thomas Edison, I did a ton of like projects and stuff about
Thomas
him
Edison
as a kid.
He was
just
a
like
bad
inventing
boy too.
shit.
I like it.
Albert Einstein, like Nikola Tesla sounds like just like the wildest of wild people.
Yeah.
And he's,
dude, I feel like I'd go crazy reading about him or like just talking to him. Like I feel like I would go nuts.
Yeah. So there's just people that were like before their time that would just be, Think about like Isaac Newton, like freaking like inventing like the laws of physics, basically.
I think I'd want to talk to Achilles.
Oof, you're getting deep now.
I mean, he might murder me, but
yeah.
I don't know. We could go on for days, but I was just like,
no, that's a great question.
Benjamin Franklin was like the first one. I'm like, just with the stuff that like he's in what he did, and I'm like, and he's on the $100 bill and stuff like that. I was like, that'd be really cool to talk to him, especially because I think he's like the genuine person that you could sit down on a bar stool and like, all right, we're gonna have a beer and talk about this.
Yeah, based on what we know from history and stories. Like,
exactly.
Seems like that.
But
no, that's
all
provocative
right.
tonight in the Patio Beers.
All right, let's close this out. Close it out.
Everybody, enjoy the picnics and stuff tomorrow. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, the debt that we're in as a nation to those that have lost their life serving, those that continue to choose to serve. Both of my grandfathers fought in World War II. Luckily enough for me, they survived. But, if you've lost someone, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And thank you for your service to all those.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm rewatching Band of Brothers right now. I actually had a grandpa that served in the 101st. And then I've had friends and stuff like that serve and know people that have given the ultimate sacrifice. So this whole weekend, while we make it sound like cookouts and stuff like that, we wouldn't be cooking out right now and, drinking Miller Lite and all that fun stuff that, playing in a golf scramble tomorrow morning. We wouldn't be doing that without the people that, made the ultimate sacrifice. So
yeah, cheers to them.
Absolutely.
Cheers to
Raise a
everybody
beer
out
for
there.
them this weekend for sure.
And we'll see you out on the golf course.
See you.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.